Ladies and gentlemen, Zack Snyder is back. Let's talk about it on the debrief. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday, and thank you so much for joining me on the Lethal Geeks Debrief. I am your host, Charles, aka Sergeant Murtaugh. Well, here we are. Zack Snyder is back. So we got a lot to discuss here. I'm going to try to keep it as short as I possibly can, but suffice it to say, Zack Snyder is back, and he's the way he did it was gangster.
That's gangster.
We're gonna talk about it though. So, coming off of the heels of the news of this buyout with WB and Paramount, Netflix, and all this other stuff that's going on, we got James Gunn's Peacemaker circling the drain. We got James Gunn's Superman circling the drain. We have his entire DCU circling the drain, as a matter of fact.
There's a word for that. It's called upward failure. You see it all the time.
I don't want to talk about that too much. I want to get more into the Zack Snyder news. So, yesterday, Zack Snyder posted a photo of Henry Cavill. Now, this is a black and white photo he shot with his, and I'm going to read the information here in a second, 50 millimeter Noctilux lens camera. And he posted this yesterday, and the internet went nuts, especially the Gunn fans.
There you go. Just let it go. Breathe, dog.
As you know, Zack Snyder's back on Instagram, and in the 3 weeks that he's been there, especially after posting this, he is past 100,000 followers. That says something, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read what he posted. I'm going to read a few of the comments as well, and then we're going to talk about it. So, all right, so this is what he said, and this was on his Instagram yesterday. Henry Cavill is Superman. From BVS, shot with my monochrome 50 millimeter Noctilux. So he's referring to the lens on his camera. 3 weeks on Instagram, thanks to everyone.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Just that paragraph, just that photo, that one photo has got the internet on fire.
I like it.
It broke the internet, kind of like how y'all remember, like way back when you were talking about when Darkseid made that announcement, when he threw up that little clip about Darkseid and all that, man, it's kind of like that. That's the kind of breaking that we talked about here. So I'm going to read some of the comments. First comment said, I said it before, and this is from Jam1814. Shout out to you. I said it before, and I say it again. It's coming. Everybody knows, everybody on the Snyder fan side knows what we're talking about. Jay Warfield, Jr. 1 said, and I really want to thank you. BVS is the movie that inspired me to make my own scripts and pursue my dreams. And I want to get into that right quick. When people talk about Zack Snyder, that's the type of stuff that people talk about, and not just in their personal life, but in their professional lives, just like Jay Warfield Jr. Okay, when you watch a Zack Snyder film, when you hear Zack Snyder talk, when you look at the behind the scenes and the processes and the background, it makes you want to sit down, pick up a pen and a piece of paper and start doing your thing.
Like, we make myth, modern myth. Movies are modern myth. Superhero movies are modern myth. Like, is it not the same when you say, like, we have Superman, right, and Batman or whatever? Are they not the mythic answer to a lot of modern questions about, like, how we should live?
Zack Snyder is, and love him or hate him, is inspirational to a lot of people. And that's what a lot of the fans don't understand. And I'm not talking about just making people want to be better at writing and directing, but I'm talking about things in their personal life that they were able to get over, things in their personal lives that they were able to aspire to. That's what Zack Snyder does. He brings inspiration. Okay, I'm gonna finish reading these comments. We love you, Zach. You're the GOAT. That was from my dog, Costello's Way. Phil, I see you. And then we got this shot is very amazing with Henry Cavill is Superman, my Superman. And that was from Tybone Skyberg 82. But y'all getting the point. One photo, not an announcement about a film, not an announcement about a TV show or anything else. One picture of Henry Cavill saying, Henry Cavill is Superman, garnered more views than it's just, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, than Gunn stuff. That's what's going on.
Leo.
Yeah. It's true. Hey, it's true. True. Okay. Anyway, look, you like these drapes?
So I want to address a couple things right quick. First of all, yes, Henry Cavill is Superman. I was 5 years old, I believe, when I saw 1978 Dawn of Version of Superman. It's a great film. But Batman is my character. Bruce Wayne is my character. More to the point, Ben Affleck's Batman and Bruce Wayne is my character. But point is this. For a lot of people that didn't like Superman, Zack Snyder made them like Superman. Everybody's coming out with their testimonials now. All you got to do is just look. Everybody's doing a video now on this post of Zack Snyder showing up on Instagram and posting this particular picture saying Henry Cavill is Superman. And that has got the internet abuzz. Now I want to address the copium.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
We've had the usual suspects come out on Instagram, come out, especially Twitter, come out on Twitter and showing up and talking all kind of smack again about Zack Snyder, about Henry Cavill. They're trying to make comparisons again with David Cornsweet Superman versus Henry Cavill Superman. Ladies and gentlemen, how far are we going to move that goalpost before we understand and realize that Zack Snyder is quintessential when it comes to DC? Now, say what you want to about his filmography outside of DC. You're more than welcome to criticize all that. But you cannot deny that when it comes to being a director for DC films, he's the GOAT.
I know the DC fans love you in the DC world, but you've said goodbye. Is it final?
Is anything final? I think that feels.
We're getting deep here. We're getting deep here.
We are a little busy at the moment,
busy,
though, so.
I just look. I've learned a lesson, and my lesson is never say never. So we say.
That's just all to it. This is not going to stop. He is right now working on a new film, and don't get it twisted. Just because he is working on these new films doesn't mean that there's not something coming down the pipe. Please believe that. I believe that. He's working on his film titled, and this was a personal project, passion project, he called The Last Photograph. Kind of like laid back, kind of, it's going to have some action in it, some drama in it, things like that. But other than the beautiful shots that we know about that film and a little bit of what the story might be about, we really don't know, which I like. But yeah, so he's working on a few projects right now. So I'm not hesitating when I say Zack Snyder is back. Now, when it comes to DC and what's going to happen in this merger that's soon to come, whoever's getting it is going to get it. I don't care. But I don't know what's going to happen at DC from this point on. Fingers crossed that we have cooler and smarter heads up there when it comes to this corporate stuff, and they let this man finish what he needs to finish. I was gonna dunk real hard on James Gunn's fans, but I'm not gonna do that. But I am gonna say this: we told y'all from the very beginning when James Gunn came on the scene, came out with that first tweet saying that this is a fractious fan base, and saying that the hashtags at the time, the Snyderverse to Netflix and all of that stuff, That was when he started that fight. He fired the first shots. And we told you from that point, we knew that James Gunn would not be the ideal candidate to both run and direct DC movies.
Quick answer, no talent.
Or films, television shows, whatever. He's just not the guy. His arms don't reach that high. And we told y'all that. We said from the very beginning that his films and his TV shows were going to be a basis of Guardians of the Galaxy. Pretty much a different version of Star-Lord, a different version of Gamora, a different version of all of the characters in those films. That's all he knows how to do. We don't care that it hurts to say that. We also don't care that you don't like how hard we're hanging on. If you understand what Zack Snyder means to a lot of people, and not just his, you think it's just his fans, but it's actually more people than that.
Tell me more.
The general audience recognizes who Zack Snyder is. It's only you Zack Snyder haters that don't like Zack Snyder.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
His Superman, James Gunn, his Superman, it failed. I don't care if it made $615 million at the box office. It failed. Okay. Now, had you made the same amount of seats as Man of Steel when that movie came out, then yeah, it would have made $1 billion easily. Because that's double the seats. That's right up there with what Man of Steel made. Plus with the ticket sales, you'd have got $1 billion. But you sold half, less than half. That was us. That half you didn't get, those were Snyder fans.
Spartans! What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.
We are not fractious as far as how people feel about Zack Snyder. Not on this side of it anyway. Okay. Zack Snyder is always going to be the better choice when it comes to DC. I'm going to say that again because I mean every word of it. Zack Snyder is always going to be the better choice, in my opinion, when it comes to DC, at least with what this DC was going for, this DCEU was going for. We would have been done already. 2019, if they'd have let him just take care of his personal business and do what he had to do, he'd have came back. He would have finished his Justice League 2 and 3. We would have got a Batman film, our Flash reset, 2019, and it would have been over. So that is the fault of the studio. That is the fault of those who decided to want to work for the studio and shill for the studio. It is the fault of the people that you follow on Twitter that's trying to sell product from, or that's trying to get product from WB just by lying about stuff. It's their fault. We told you guys that there was no way that James Gunn's DC was going to be successful. We said that, and I'm going to keep my promise. Just like I said before, and I said this a year ago, 2 years ago, in fact, that if his DC fails, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to dunk on him. I'm not going to say that he's a fail. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm not going to talk about all that. What I am going to say is this. 3 years have gone by since this man said that he can do better than Zack Snyder. Has he done better than Zack Snyder?
Go spit.
Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Zack Snyder is back? Do you think something's coming down the pipe? We're hoping for a Justice League 2 and a Justice League 3, maybe even a Batfleck film. We'll see how it goes with this merger coming up. But otherwise, let me know what you guys think. Sound off in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share. Yeah. Zack Snyder's back, baby. I'm through.